Alright, Karina, baby, for the 11th, it's helping hands. Mama loves helping hands. That's the type of terms I use too. Alright. Helping hands are always awesome, right? Love to have helping hands. Helping hands. Wash the dishes, dry the dishes, put them all away. We're helping with the cleanup before we go to play. Oh, that was a good one. Alright, baby, I got you this book today. It is Favorite Poems, Old and New. Favorite Poems, Old and New. Poetry at Our House. This book had its beginning years ago when two parents loving poetry made it as much a part of their children's every day as getting up in the morning, eating breakfast, going to school, playing outdoors until supper time. It is evening. My brother Fred and I are in bed, propped up against a pillow. Mama is sitting by the table with a lamp, red shade throwing the rose glow over our faces, and the book from which she is reading. Little Jack Horner sat in a corner. Fred and I knew it by heart, just as we knew by heart all the others in the Mother Goose books. But to have Mama read them aloud gives us a warm feeling of the day ending as it should end. And to our profound satisfaction in hearing the familiar words over and over again is added to our pleasure in the cadence of her voice. When Papa can be with us, it is an event. All too seldom realized, for Papa is a minister with many evenings meetings in the small Nebraska town where we live. Not even Mama can make the shivers run down our backbones as he does with "'Twas a night, moistly morning, and cloudy was the weather. There is ominous portent in his deep voice." Fred and I push closer together. I chanced to meet an old man clad all in leather with a strap beneath his chin. A strap, goodness! But the mood quickly brightens, for now Fred and I have our turn. How'd ye do? Bow to Mama and Papa. How'd ye do? Bow to each other. How'd ye do? Bow every which way as fast as you can. One night Papa came in to hear Mama read. Tom, Tom, the piper's son, stole a pig and ran, and away he ran. My dear Min, he protested. Mama's name was Minnie. What are you doing? That word is run. Mama's hazel eyes flashed. Elmer Fritz, she told him firmly, if you think I'm going to expose our children to bad grammar in this house, you are mistaken. Better than that, expose them to a bad rhyme, declared Papa no less firmly. It was a difference of opinion that was never resolved, but as with many such at our house, it became a source of merriment. Every now and then, when supper was ready, Mama would beckon to Fred and me, and the three of us would tiptoe to Papa's study, where he sat reading the paper. Soundlessly, Mama's lips would form the words, Tom, Tom. Then she would declare, Tom, Tom, the piper's son, stole a pig, and away he ran. Fred and I would shout, swirling over Papa, to definite determination of the newspaper. Papa would throw his head back. Papa would throw back his head and laugh, and Fred and I were never to forget the importance either of good grammar or a good rhyme. Memory of the poem that accomplished the followed Mother Goose into the bedroom, out into the bedtime hours, on a tapestry lovely, but with no one set design. Later, I was to learn that Mama had an articulate theory about reading poetry aloud to children, a theory not surprised, for she was a pianist. It did not matter, she was convinced, if you could not understand all the words. We could enjoy the beautiful sound of them. So it was that Fred and me, Mother Goose followed easily into Alfred Tyson, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow into Shakespeare. Shakespeare was especially Papa's. When he was working his way through the old University of Chicago, he took on an extra job in order to buy the complete works. It was a large, worn, and precious part of our library. During many of the family celebrations, Papa would take down the Shakespeare books, unerringly turn the pages to a certain passage, and new meaning was added to the occasion. Like the sunshine and the softness of twilight, like the wind and the rain of the snow, the poetry of the Bible belongs to the rap and woof of Fred's and my growing up. Mama reading, I will lift up my eyes onto the hills. She loved the Wisconsin hills of her girlhood, and Fred and I were sure the psalmist most meant Wisconsin. Papa, slim and serious in his pulpit of the little parish church. The heavens declare the glory of God. I often wonder how Mama and Papa knew which of the new books to buy for us. There was no library in the small Nebraska town, no librarian to consult, no bookstore, nor did the periodicals of those days carry many reviews of children's books. Yet new books regularly appeared for us, often those of poetry, which only rarely failed to enchant us. Perhaps Papa asked questions on his trips. From one of these trips, Papa came home with exciting news. We were going to move to Wisconsin to live. In the city of La Crosse, which is the mighty Mississippi River, he told us from then on it was one word to me, mighty Mississippi. Having a mighty Mississippi so close was as exciting as Papa had predicted. Papa, I asked him one morning at breakfast, does the mighty Mississippi come from hots of coot and hern? Certainly, he replied, and it breaks down the valley, too. Up north, the city Pitpone Park, and I was by then old enough to do my routine, was always the same, hopping off the bike in the middle of the long bridge, leaning out over the railing facing north. I told the mighty Mississippi, so wide and carelessly following far below. You came from huts of coots and hern. You becker down a valley. There was no campfire, girls or Girl Scouts in those days, but there was a junior Audubon Society, of which my best friend, Addie Dean, and I were ardent members. One rainy day, to get us out from underfoot, I am sure Mama suggested, why don't you two bird watchers go to the library and see how many poems about birds you can find for your Audubon notebook? We must have been a pest to Miss Hanson, the librarian, for day after day until we ran out of notebook pages we put in an appearance. But I can remember only her kindness and interest as she guided our search. Alright, baby cakes. I'm going to read the rest of this to you tomorrow. Mama's actually got a really, really bad headache. This isn't even very long. Mama got a really bad headache today, honey. Let's do. We sit and watch the rain as it falls from the sky, and we are glad to be inside where it is warm and dry. Oh yes, I do love the rain. It keeps the earth so clean and helps the pretty flowers grow from the mountains to the streams. Oh, the grand old Duke of York had 10,000 men. He marched them to the top of the hill, and then he marched them down again. And when they were up, they were up, and when they were down, they were down. And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. Karina, baby, let's do Lila Tove, honey. Lila Tove, and good night to you. Lila Tove, may your dreams come true. We sing Lila Tove, may Israel protect you throughout the night until we reach the morning light. I love you, I miss you, and I can't wait to see you, my baby. I love you so much. Like Papa always used to say, Mama's Papa's sun, Papa's my moon, and you are quite literally our rainbow baby. We love you, honey. We both love you. We just need to find a way to work together. I love you, baby. Good night, honey.